This is your host, Jason Snellgrove, and I will be your guide as we journey down the road to pleasure hunt or hitting the long trail to those great comp hunts. This is the Coonhound Collective podcast. All right, guys, real quick, I wanted to say this before we got started because we forgot to mention it in the podcast here. The bench show entry fee is $20 and the night hunt entry fee will be $50. There will be some added money to the bench show and the night hunt. You will hear about those details in this podcast, so stay tuned and listen to all the details. Thank you for joining us today. Today, we have some special guests with us today. We're going to talk about a gentleman that I got the privilege to talk with on my YouTube channel and on this podcast. I think 4 different times, 3 times on the YouTube channel and 1 time on the podcast, and that's Mr. Juinor Lasseter. And we have Miss Jodi Hunt on the phone. And Miss Jodi, how are you today?
I'm very good, thank you.
Who else do you have with you there?
So I have my sister, Janae Lee, and her son, Grant Lee, with me.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this. I seen this posted on Facebook, and of course, I mean, I didn't know Mr. Juinor that well, but the interactions I had with him, the telephone calls that me and him shared together are precious to me, and I definitely want to honor him, and I think what y'all have in mind here to do would he would very much be very appreciative of, and sounds like something he would do. He always seemed like a guy that was willing to jump in and help somebody, especially young people, when it comes to the sport of coon hunting.
I've got some young guys who started hunting around where I live, around Green Forest and Berryville and Oak Grove and places like that. And I figured it up the other night, and I've gave in the last year, I've gave 6 or 7 of them lights away, and I won't even tell you how many pups to them kids, because if they come to the house and want to go coon hunting, I'll let the boys, my grandsons or some of the boys that comes and gets my dogs and take them hunting. Yeah, if they go with them a few times and they're going to like it, I'm going to see to it they can get to coon hunt.
He was. One thing about my dad that anybody that knows him knows, he was all about kids and young people, and there's no way you could possibly count how many pups he has given to a kid to get them started down the coon hunting path. He loved that more than anything in the entire world. So he was very, very passionate about helping young people get their start.
Yeah, and I actually, before we hit record here, we were talking, and I asked about, inserting some audio from previous podcast and some YouTube stuff that me and Mr. Juinor done together. And one of I today, leading up to this, because I knew we were going to have this conversation this evening, I went back and listened to the podcast and some of the video that me and him done together, and that was one of the things he said in there, and it really it stood out to me. So for you to say it again, I really thought that was his heart in it. He told a story where he was at Autumn Oaks, and this young man had won the bench show and left his dog and come running up to him, and had been to Timothy Ball's little school of training or whatever that Mr. Juinor was a part of, that helped with the bench show, and was so elated to meet Mr. Juinor and thank him for what he taught him at that school, and it really choked him up when he was talking about it. So you could see his heart was to help the young people of the sport.
That is a fact. That is absolutely a fact.
So let's talk about this, because I when I first seen this, I thought, man, this is definitely, I think, what his heart is, but this is going to be called the Juinor Lasseter Memorial Scholarship Bench Show and Hunt. So whoever there, why don't somebody explain kind of where this come from, how this come about, and then kind of give us some details on the bench show and hunt.
It don't have to be. It don't matter. If you like to coon hunt, if you really like to coon hunt, it don't matter if you're hunting a blue tick, a black and tan, a walker, a red bone, a plot, or if you're hunting a gray dog or a cur dog. It don't matter if that dog can do what you want it to do, can tree a coon like you like for one to tree a coon. If you're going to competition hunt, get him single registered, whatever it is, or hunt him in some of these other, and go. But if just for you to go coon hunting, he don't have to be out of this and he don't have to be out of that and he don't have to be registered. If he suits you, you're the one feeding him.
We're going to take a little break right here and hear a ad from our sponsor for this month. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Are you looking for a dog with drive, heart, hustle, a natural owner? Let me introduce to you a dog that fits that bill and then some. One that can add that extra gear to your females and the natural independence we are all looking for. One that when you need that clutch moment, look no further than Grand Night Champion PR coming in clutch, owned by Rick and Zach Gravetti. You can contact them about breeding at 636-234-5062 or find them on Facebook. Grand Night Champion coming in clutch.
If you're gonna hunt, just enjoy it. Whatever it is, if it's deer hunting, if it's rabbit hunting, and I've had beagles and some good ones and shot a mini rabbit in front of them. But whatever it is, enjoy it. But there's one thing that I want to stress. Hunting is not a competition. They have competition hunts. They have competition rabbit hunts. They have competition coon hunts. They have competition hunts. But going hunting does not need to be a competition against your buddy and this buddy that comes to go with you. It don't have to be a competition. It's supposed to be a pleasurable, enjoyable, go out there and enjoy hunting. God give you the health and strength to go. God put the animals on the planet, and if he hadn't have put them here for food, I mean, if it hadn't have been for eating animals and stuff, what would Adam and Eve lived off of? It's pretty simple. Vegetation and stuff like that. But, I mean, just enjoy whatever you're doing and enjoy the people you're doing it with.
Grandpa passed away, I guess it'd be a year ago this last Saturday. And around all the services and stuff, we had a bunch of family in, and I've still got a hound or two, and we all decided, all of us cousins, all of us, his grandkids were going to go coon hunting. So we all went out and had a big time and treated a couple coons. And everybody kind of got to talking and decided that, after kind of everything settles down a little bit, we need to have a hunt to remember Grandpa. And so it's been about a year now, and everybody's kind of about ready. So I think that's what we're going to try to do.
Yeah, and this would be, I know just the conversations I had with your grandfather, that this would be something that would be truly precious to him, and it truly shows his heart.
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, before he passed away, he got a few of us, myself and a couple other of us young guys here around Carroll County together, and we were trying to start a new club here there at Green Forest, matter of fact. And so that was kind of in the works already. And so now I guess we're just going to kind of take it and try to run with it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good of y'all, and that will definitely honor his legacy for sure. So tell us a little bit about this hunt you're putting together. It's called a scholarship benefit. So explain the scholarship part and what it's going to go towards.
So all the proceeds from the hunt and show, and also the other fundraisers we're going to do throughout the day, they're all going to go put into a pot, and we're going to make scholarships out of them. Of course, depending on how much money's raised will determine how many scholarships we can do and in the amount. We don't want to give 10 kids $100 because that ain't going to get them very far. But anyhow, it's going to go to them, and then it's going to go to a young guy or girl around Carroll County who is going to go into more like a trade school instead of like an undergrad study.
Gotcha. And is there going to be a process for that young person to be able to get on the list for consideration for a scholarship?
Correct. So I graduated here in Berryville, and one of the things that the school and the surrounding schools do is all the local scholarships pretty well contact the schools and the counselors, and the counselors at the school will create, I don't really want to say an application process because obviously we're the ones that make the decision in the end, but they kind of weed through and get a list of kids together that would be good fits for each scholarship. And then a decision after that will be made. So it'll be open to, everybody in the surrounding area.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's awesome. So let's talk about the details of the hunt. When is it? Where is it? Some of that stuff. What all is going to go on?
It'll be November 2nd at the Green Forest Cowboy Church, which is just north of Green Forest. I don't know, probably 2 or 3 miles maybe. The address is, I guess you might need that. We'll get back with you on the address.
Yeah, I was going to pull it up, see if I could pull it up real quick while you were talking, and see if I could find it.
Anyhow, the show is we're going to do more kind of. We don't really have like an active club right now, so doing like a UKC or PKC sanctioned hunt is going to be a nightmare. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to do more of a jackpot style hunt and show. So 50% of all the entries will go towards jackpot prize for first place winner in the hunt and the show. And then the other 50% will go towards the cause.
Okay.
With added money on top of that. So we'll sweeten the pot up a little bit to try to draw some more folks in. We're looking at probably at least $200 added money for the show and at least $500 added money for the hunt.
Okay. Does 687 Arkansas 103 sound right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. It's 687 Arkansas 103, Green Forest, Arkansas 72638 is the address that I've got here, and that's November the 2nd, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then on that day, you're going to do, I guess you're going to have some raffles or an auction or something that's going to be going on as well, and a dinner.
Yes. So the bench show will start at 3, and then deadline for the hunt will be at 5 that evening, and then we'll draw out after the deadline and figure out a time when everybody needs to be back. I'm not real sure what time it's going to be getting dark then, but we'll kind of fly with that as we go. But after, in between there, we're going to have there'll be a gun raffle, like a baked pie auction, and also we'll be serving dinner.
Okay. Well, I know most coon hunters are like me; they like to eat, so we like good food.
That's right.
And then you've got a Facebook page and an event page on Facebook as well, and there's going to be some T-shirts available for purchase. Is that right? Here's an excerpt from a conversation that I recorded on my YouTube channel with Mr. Juinor Lasseter and Mr. Paul Jeffries.
I had a pen already set up down at Dad's, and I took him down there, put him in that pen. We bred 4 females to him. I kept him about 5 weeks. We bred 4 females to him, and that's the start. That's the start of what we've put together. And buddy, there's been some good.
Oh,
and
yeah.
let's go up here on the porch, and I want that to give you that pup, and then I want to talk some more. Horton, I wouldn't turn that dog loose if I had a 100-foot rope on him. What's the matter with you? I made him a promise, and I'm keeping that promise. I'm taking care of that dog. The last female that I bred to him, we bred more to him after that, but that last female I bred to him while I had him down here was out of Old Hawk, and the night champion female I had out of Fender Chief. And he said, our granddaughter.
Hawk was off of Monroe.
No, Hawk was out of a dog up in Missouri, Oak Ridge, Missouri, Buchler, that Max Harsha had, that was out of old Nelson's Butch. My Mundo Junior dog, we took a Hawk, are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
We took a Hawk female. She was out of Flying Hawk. Her mother was a female that I had raised, that Ray Richardson had raised, and was out of Stan Saylor Jr. and Ray Richardson's old Vicky female, the old grand female. And I took Little B, we called her, to Cole McAllister's and bred her to Gold Creek Mundo.
Oh, that's where the Monroe.
That's where it come in, and she had 3 females and 4 males. And I had one of them pups picked out to keep. And a guy come, and I won't say his name, but he was a country music. One big old boy, country music. And he wanted one of them pups. And he said, we're going to be going to Springfield, said I. So anyhow, I told him where I lived, and he kind of knew. He come to the house, and I was going to hunt. And I said, now I'm going to have the collar on the pup that I'm keeping. There's 3 more male pups. You can pick any one you want. He went back there and looked at the pup. And when he got up there, he told Joanne, he said, I think he said I was supposed to get the one with the collar on. Mundo Jr. was second pick of the litter.
Oh.
If you can figure that out.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Paul Jeffrey, this is your next Ozark preacher right here.
Oh, see,
Ain't that something?
hey, I already had the I seen the pictures you said. I knew which one it was.
Yeah, but boy, ain't that thing pretty. Look at the head.
Beautiful.
Yeah. That's
Preacher, her name Preacher.
yeah, that's exactly what he
I may call him Ron.
yeah. That's my 13-year-old granddaughter,
Hi,
and that's my grandson over there.
pleased to meet
He's
you.
17.
18.
18 now? Oh man, he's too old. But them is the 2 right there. Them is the 2 that can make one look and do like they want
I
to
gotta
do.
get them to
Yeah, they will. But
show
Aubrey Graydon is the youngest, was and probably still is the youngest youth handler to ever win a major at the Youth Nationals. We went to Northern Ohio to the Youth Nationals, and he showed. Yeah, sit down, Paul. And he showed a full sister, older litter, to this pup's mama. No, a full brother. He showed a full brother to this pup's mama, a litter older, and won best male a show with him. And you was how old, son?
12.
I don't think you was that old. It was in 2012.
I don't know.
And Grant, her brother, he showed a full sister, mate to the male dog, the litter older, full sister to this pup mother, and he won overall show champion at the Youth Nationals that year in Ohio.
Well, goodness.
Yeah, and that while we was there, we stayed at Russ Beller's hunting lodge up there in Indiana. That we stayed up there at Russ Beller's hunting
Yeah, I've
lodge.
been out to Russell's place there.
Yeah, but I'm just I'm just so proud.
You was a good show person, boy. You could show them dogs. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of proud of what I've done. I'm kind of proud of what I've
You was the
done.
best.
If you want to see this full video, it's over on the YouTube channel. It's titled Paul Jeffries Leading Another Ozark Preacher.
There are. We will have t-shirts, short and long sleeves, and we will also have ball caps available.
Okay.
And they will be up for pre-order, so people can get on either one of those, the event or the Facebook page, and we'll put pictures of the examples up in the next day or so, and we'll be taking pre-orders on those.
Okay, and the not the event page. I guess maybe they're both the same name, but the group page is called the Juinor Lasseter Memorial Scholarship Bench Show and Hunt. People can go there, join that page. I'm assuming that's where updates will be posted about auction items, the shirts, etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is correct.
And we'll try to keep people updated as far as prizes and stuff goes as we get some more stuff lined out. You kind of caught us in the pretty early stages of it. I'm pretty sure we decided to do it about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
But
Well, I seen it on there, and like I said, I really enjoyed I guess my wife says I'm an old soul at heart, and I got to meet, Mr. Junior, and then at the same time, Mr. Paul Jeffries, and to sit and listen to them tell stories on his front porch there. I mean, it was just, to me, that was just great. I enjoy getting to sit around. That's the reason why I do these podcasts. I get to sit around and listen to people tell their coon hunting stories and their journey and how it's affected their lives, and those type of things. And when I seen this pop up, I thought, well, I want to do my part, and my part is I can try to help y'all get the word out to the masses, and
We absolutely do appreciate that. We really do.
And help y'all make this a big thing, because I think what you're doing is a great thing for one or multiple young people there in Carroll County, Arkansas. Will have an opportunity maybe to go to a trade school that maybe they wouldn't get the opportunity to go to any other way. So
Exactly.
my hat's off to you. I think y'all are doing a great thing, and there's no doubt he's looking down smiling on what y'all are doing.
exactly. I guess a little bit more kind of about the hunt. So we're not going to be sanctioned by any kennel club or anything, but we're going to be going off of UKC rules. So everything there'll be a guide and a judge for the cast. No, every dog will be judged off UKC rules, and then the high scoring dog at the end of the night will get the jackpot cash prize, and we'll have prizes available also for each cast winner.
Okay. And I guess like we talked about, I know this is early stages of planning, and y'all got a lot to do between now and then. I guess you're going to try to get some sponsorships or some stuff donated, I guess,
Correct.
to help. Okay. Well, did we miss anything in there else that we want to talk about or cover?
Also, Grant and then one other of the grandsons will be up in Missouri. I believe it's this coming up weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna Friday night. I guess as a Federation hunting show in Missouri at Coal Camp, they're doing a memorial there for Grandpa as well. So I'm gonna go up there and see if I can't get my butt whooped in a show.
I seen that on Facebook, and I guess I got it kind of crossed up that's a different deal than what this deal is.
Yeah, this is totally different, but I'll be up there and I'll have information I'll hand out up there, and bring some flyers. So if anybody wants, something to take home with them or whatever that has the date and time and some details on it, well, they can get it there from me.
Okay. So what was it, Cold Camp as a club's idea to do this, the Juinor Lasseter Memorial Hunting Show up there?
I honestly have no idea.
I think it was actually the
more
Federation.
of the Federation,
Mhm.
which I'm not sure. I've been to Cold Camp several times, of course, with Grandpa.
Yeah.
But I ain't been up there in forever, so I don't even know who's running the show up
We
there
just
anymore.
seen it on the flyer that they was doing it in honor of Dad. So
Yeah.
we're really not sure who decided to do that, but we appreciate it.
Yeah,
We do
well,
really appreciate it.
I mean, what a legacy you left that no one from the family even reached out and asked for that to be done. They're just doing it to honor him. I mean, that speaks for his legacy there.
Right.
Sure.
That's right.
Well,
Also, if anyone would be interested in any of the sponsorships, they can always go to the Facebook page and message us and get in contact with us about sponsorships or donations or anything of that sort.
yeah, and if you're listening to this and you want to get involved and you want to sponsor and you can't find the page or whatever, just message me. I'll get you in contact with them and get all the information swapped so you can get to the right people and talk to the right people, and let's try to make this thing a big deal and try to help send some kids to some trade schools there in the community. And like I said in the beginning of this, I know that was his heart, just from the conversations I had with him, is to see young people be involved in the sport and get ahead in life.
Absolutely.
That was his passion for sure.
Young people hunting too.
Yeah, just he was very passionate about keeping the sport going, like his entire life, that he didn't switch up sports much, as far as he was always all about coon hunting. So that was his passion.
Yeah. He told a story when he bought Bickerstaff's little buck, and I guess it was your mom. She said the guy asked to buy him and asked about buying him. Mr. Junior said something to your mom about it. She said, "Well, I didn't tell you to buy him. I sure ain't gonna tell you to sell him."
That's exactly what she told him. The funny thing is, when my mom and dad got married, their main wedding photo, one of us kids or grandkids posted every anniversary they had, was a picture of my mom and dad with a coon dog on the show bench and my mom's wedding bouquet over the back of the coon dog. That's how passionate he was about coon hunting.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that photo going around, and actually me and Mr. Junior talked about that because I actually took my senior pictures in high school with my coon dog. So we had kind of talked about that, and I thought that was pretty neat. It was definitely a family tradition there in the Lasseter family for sure.
Yes.
Well, I think we got all the information out there. Unless I missed something, is there something else y'all wanted to talk about, or did we get everything covered y'all wanted to cover? And then, and this ain't got to be the last time. If you get more updates or more stuff or bigger prizes and you want to get it out, all you gotta do is, Miss Jodi, you got my number,
Yes, sir.
and you can message me, call me, text me, whatever. We can get back on here and do this again.
We sure will.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. We really appreciate you reaching out and allowing us to do this, because we really would like to make it as big an event as possible, obviously. But Dad was also pretty passionate about, a kid going to a trade school should also, they should have the opportunity to have scholarships. And there's just not a whole lot of scholarships like that available. So that's why we decided to go that route. So we hope we can make it a big event.
Yeah. Well, I'll sure help spread the word any way I can, and we'll get this edited and I'm actually going to release this as a standalone podcast next Monday. I'll get it edited and released and put out there, and so people can listen to it and get the information, kind of get this put on your calendar, clear everything off. It's a good time of year in northern Arkansas and southern Missouri to be hunting. The weather will be nice. The hunting will be good. especially if you
Yep.
can get somebody to guide you around some chicken houses down there.
We got plenty of them, that's for sure.
I've never hunted down there, but I keep hearing
You
these
don't know what
chicken
you're
house
missing.
stories. So,
Yep.
You can tree a lot of coons pretty quick down here if the time's right. That's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm hearing. There's some boys that come up from down that way, Bearville and that area, and they hunted my PKC hunt over here at Aurora, and that I put on, and
She even get me started on some of them boys.
and they keep talking about these chicken house coons, and I keep telling them I'm gonna have to come down there and check these chicken house coons out.
Well, this is your opportunity to do it.
About 2 or 3 or 4 nights a week. So
Yeah. Well, I sure appreciate y'all taking the time this afternoon to jump on here and get this recorded. Like I said, I'll get it edited and it'll be coming out 4:00 Monday morning on the
Yes, sir.
podcast. So
Thank you.
thank y'all so much for taking your time. And again, we want to make this a big deal. So if you're listening to this, please share this on all your social media platforms. Share this podcast, share their Facebook page so we can get this out there.
yeah, and
We appreciate it.
If anybody is listening, if I'll show up and hunt, we'll have plenty of guides and plenty of judges, and there's plenty of places around here that we can tree a coon for an hour or two. So
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Well, y'all have a good evening and thank y'all so
Right.
much.
Thank you, Mr. Jason.
Uh-huh.
Bigger staff a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got the newspaper article.
You sold him, but you got to keep him, right?
No, let me tell you what happened. That newspaper article's a little misleading, but, and they didn't mean it to be. Bigger Staff's little buck was raised right over here at Bearville, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Bert Smith raised him. He was out of Old Flying Hawk. And he was Junior Biggerstaff's. Dad told Junior, we bred for Bert's female for a pup. Well, Dad and Junior at that time was partners on Old Hawk. They went down and bought him together. Later, Joanne and I bought Biggerstaff out. But we went up there to look at them pups, and Dad said, Junior, you just go ahead and pick you one out. You know, he knew Junior would hunt it and give it a chance. And he said, you get ready to get rid of it. Well, we might talk about it later, but anyhow. And his birthday one day, and he said, Junior, I'm going to have to sell Buck. I said, what? I said, what are you selling him for? Well, I'd rather sell him to somebody that'll get some good out of him as to have to split him.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what that meant. And I said, well, what do you want for him? He told me. And I said, well, I ain't got no money, but we got a little bit in savings. And I said, let me just tell you how it is. But I said, can I have a couple of days? He said, yeah, a couple of days. We talked about it. You got to get this. She was pregnant. We had $1,200 in savings account and very little otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it, and she said, well, whatever you think. So I go down to the bank at Hollister. Virginia Kenyon was a friend of ours, and Joanne, when she was young and at home, she had babysitted Virginia's kids. You know, the school was just right there. They just lived about 5 or 6 blocks from Joanne and her mom did from school. And I went in there and I said, Virginia, I need to borrow some money. How much? Well, I need to borrow $1,250. I mean, I said, how much have I got? She was back on me and said, you got $1,250. And I said, I need to borrow $1,000 to go with it. She said, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to buy a coon. She just shook her head. She said, you got to be the dumbest feller I ever seen. Your wife is pregnant. You ain't got no insurance. And you're borrowing money to buy a coon. I said, it'd be all right, Virginia. She said, I guess you sold that bill of goods to Joanne too, didn't you? And I said, well, I tried to.
I drew out with a guy from West Virginia. Buck put on a real good show, and he's offered me $15,000 for him, and I'd like to know what you think I ought to do. You called me at 4:30 in the morning to ask me what I thought you ought to do about a dog that I didn't want you to buy to start with. I didn't want you to buy him, but I ain't going to tell you to sell him. Click, and I was talking to Dial. So way after midnight, and you're wanting me to come out of my doghouse? I went down to the house down there, and I told Joanne before I got in bed, I said, honey, I'm going to call that guy tomorrow and sell him a little buck. I said, I can't handle this. I said, you know, we don't have no money. And I said, you know, this ain't no sense in this. I said, he's 5.5 years old, almost 6. The next morning, we got up and come upstairs. Mom was fixing breakfast. And Joanne was in there helping her, and the phone rang. And when it rung, I was just fixing. My hand was about that far from picking it up to call him and tell him I'd sell him a buck. I mean, I'd sat down to reach and get the phone to call him and tell him. Is Junior Lasseter there? This is Junior. This is Claire Chenoweth. How are you, Junior? I said, I'm doing fine. Claire, how are you? I could have finished the sentence. If you'd have waited 2 more minutes, you'd have saved yourself some money on that phone call. But I said, I'm doing fine. He said, you ready to sell me old buck? I said, well, I said I would for enough. And he said, what's enough? It was a smart dude. And I just, you know, I mean, me and Claire just had a good relationship. I went out there. He called me one day, of course, after he bought Mac, and, you know, I was a hunting Mac, and he called me one day. Junior? Yeah. I want you to come to West Virginia. I said, man, that's kind of like around the world. You know, I can't afford to come to West Virginia. I'm paying you up. He said, have you got Little Buck's trophies? I said, yes, sir, I do. And I had to leave the NKC World Champion trophy because Little Buck won the NKC World Championship hunt in 82. And I won the NKC World Show with Mundo Jr. in 82. And at that hunt, I had a litter of pups out of Little Buck, and the mother of them was out of Sugarloaf Chief and a direct daughter to Vance's Crowd and Billy. And I took them pups down there, and I sold K.O. Grimes and Mickey Dunnar one of them pups. They named him Moon. Moon is the sire of White River Rick. White River Rick's mother was out of a female that I raised out of Lasseter's Hawk Supreme that K.O. got and brought and bred to Mundo Jr., and that's where White River Rick's mother came from. So he's my stuff on both sides. On the top side, he's Table Rock Flying Hawk, Sugarloaf Chief, the Table Rock Flying Hawk and Houses Bowley, and then on the bottom side, he is Mundo Jr. and Hawk Supreme that was out of Old Flying Hawk. But anyhow, Claire was just exactly, if he told you something, it was done. He begged me and begged me and begged me. He called me, you got your stuff loaded yet? Oh, I started telling you about the trophies. He called me one day and he said, I want you to come to West Virginia. And I said, well, before he said, I want you to bring me Buck's trophies. He said, you got them all? I said, yeah. And it was pretty good blood. But we had to leave the world champion trophy down at Mom and Dad's because we had a trailer house and 7-foot ceiling. A 7.5-foot trophy won't go in a house with a 7-foot ceiling. Mm-hmm. So we left it down there, and I said, well, he said, just go rent you a U-Haul And you can take that, we built trophies, he knew that. You can take that top deal off of there and put it on. When you get out here, I want them trophies. I'm paying the way. I said, all right. So, and I was still hunting Mac, so I took Mac so I could go hunting. My brother went with me. And it just happened to be deer season out there. We went out there and deer hunted and stuff, and I took Mac and took Buck's trophies to him. We brought Mac back home, and he built a plexiglass cubicle at the Ford dealership there in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and put all them trophies in that plexiglass cubicle down there. And you talk about conversation pieces when people come in to buy vehicles. Now them trophies, especially that World Show Champion trophy, ACHA World Show Champion trophy, UKC World Show Champion trophy, NKC World Night Hunt trophy, all them, I mean, a whole U-Haul load of them. I rented an 8-foot U-Haul, and it was full. But one of the best surprises that I got, I wasn't expecting them whatsoever. I was sitting there at my desk one day at Pinnacle, and I seen this vehicle pull in out there, you know, and at that time we had the upload system, and I wasn't the one up, you know, it's somebody else's turn. Just a little bit, I heard somebody say, "Junior Lasseter." I turned around and looked, and his Claire Chandler was coming in the door, and him and Betty, his wife, and friends of theirs had come back to see Branson and just to visit with me. And he spent 4 days begging me to move to West Virginia to manage one of them car dealerships for him out there, you know. But I just told him, I said, family's here, church is here, kids is in school by then, you know, and stuff. It just couldn't happen, you know. But, and I'm glad we didn't, but he sure was a friend and an asset to us, you know.
Sounds like.
All right, guys, there's some background noise in there, but hopefully you could hear that, make it out. This was when I first started doing YouTube, about 3 years ago on my YouTube channel. It's Bigger Staff's Little Buck Story, Part 1, Part 2 on there. And Paul Jeffries leading another Ozark preacher, if you want to go check that out. You can see Mr. Junior, hear some stories, and, you know, just catch up with two old guys telling some stories in the one, and then him and me and my son just video and him telling a story about Buck. Thanks, guys, for listening to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you don't mind, head over to Facebook and give us a like, and head over to Instagram and give us a follow. It's both at the Coonhound Collective. Also, if you would like to reach us here at the Coonhound Collective, you can reach us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. If there's someone that you would like to hear on the podcast or a product that you would like to hear talked about, please send it to thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Thanks again. Have a great day.